Hello, everyone, and welcome back.
Hello.
Hello again.
Oh, someone got really excited there. Oh, someone is playing YouTube in the background.
Oh, let me double check.
Someone will have to. Is that me? Okay, hold on a
Doesn't look
second.
like it's
I don't
me.
hear
Oh, wait a second. Oh, you know what? I was checking out the links for YouTube to add them to the free space page, and I had a link open somewhere, which was dead and wasn't making any sound until we went live, and then all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm. Good job, Greg.
But it was only my third browser window I had to check through, so I got to pick amid 20 other tabs on that browser window. Anyways, welcome. And no echo. Welcome. Okay, welcome to the 6th day of Elfmas, everyone. And I'm joined again by 3 of my 4 lovely lead elves and special guest elf, Danny Guknek.
Hello.
Hello. And how are you doing over in Germany there?
Yes, it's all fine here. It's in the middle of the night, kind of, as you can see.
Yes, well, thank you for staying up. And how late is it? Is it what, 6 or 7?
It's just 6. No, it's just 6.
Oh,
yeah.
But it's
when
dark.
does it get dark? When does it get
it's
dark?
really dark.
Yeah. Does it get dark around 4:30 or what time?
Yeah.
About that. Yeah. Have you noticed the days getting longer yet?
A little bit.
Yeah, it's hard. I know. The first couple of weeks, they say they're getting longer, but I don't know. It doesn't really seem like there's much difference. But anyways, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Secret Santa. And if you watch the Saturday Roundup, Christine gave an excellent overview of how we're doing so far. We're halfway through. Actually, we're halfway through the Secret Santa Challenge. This is day 6, which means that in the 12 days of Elfmas, we're exactly halfway through the 12 days of Elfmas. So do you want to refresh our memories? Do you want to give that round?
Yeah, I have that. I just have that minimized here. So we had started out with, I think it was almost 400 wishes, over 350.
Mm-hmm.
And we put the majority of those into our initial category, which was the wish received. And we are down to 181. I had to refresh. So 181 profiles left in the wish received. And that category has profiles with the wishes on the profiles. And you can go in there and have a look. Those ones have not been touched at all by any elf. So if you are willing to work on anything, we have lots of wishes still for the States and for Poland and for Ireland. And I see all sorts of different places. Spain, I see one in there as well. Now, after you open your profile from the wish received, we move that into the wish in progress category. The wish in progress currently has 61 profiles. So somebody, at least one elf, has looked at that, or they're working on that wish right now. And after they are done with that, we are going to move it to one of 3 options. Your first option is the check it twice category. So you've done as much as you can, and now you need another elf or somebody to have a look at it to either verify your research or take it a little bit further, or just get a second pair of eyes on that profile. And we currently have 59 profiles in the check it twice. Your other option is to put it in the wish complete category. And that is not necessarily for a wish that has been solved, but for a wish that has been completely researched to the best of everybody's ability. And we cannot find any more information on that at this time. And there's currently 46 profiles in the complete category. And then last night I created one last category at the behest of our elves, and that is for a wish brick-walled. So if we have fully looked at a profile and there's absolutely nothing that can be found, then we're putting that in the brick wall category and moving on to something else. And there's one profile in that category right now.
Mm-hmm. So Anne Fiorelisi asks what the colors are on the Google Sheet.
Yes, so that was the other thing that I started just last night. So I'm trying to coordinate, and I will get maybe Vicky or somebody to put some put a color coding at the top.
It's done.
Is it? Perfect. So
I just put enter. It's done.
Excellent. So what we're trying to do is, if you aren't going to look at the categories, because I know everybody works differently, if you are just focusing on the Google Sheet, the green ones should be all the profiles that are in the complete category. The light orange is in progress. The darker orange is in check it twice. And anything that doesn't have a color on it hasn't been picked up by anybody. There are some profiles that didn't make it into the sheet because they are ones that I wasn't able to categorize because they're pre-1500, pre-17 project protracted profiles. So if there is a profile that you submitted as a wish and you don't see it in one of those categories, let me know and I will give you feedback on that.
Right. Because in general, our ELs, there are some things that we just can't do. We don't, our ELs are generalists, I guess one could say, right? So we can't guarantee that we have people who can work
but
on.
We also, we only have so many ELs.
Only so many. Yeah.
And as much as I know that everybody would love to be awake for 24 hours straight for 2 weeks and just researching and finding all sorts of things, we do like them to have rest time.
It's supposed to be a holiday time. Yes,
it is a holiday time. It is supposed to be for family. So we appreciate everything that our elves are able to do for us.
Yes.
But if there's something specific, if you are a wishy and there's something specific that you are looking for feedback on, now a lot of the profiles, I will say, that were submitted were not researched from the start, whether that was because that person couldn't find anything or because for whatever reason, a lot of the elves have had to start from scratch on some profiles. So believe me when I say there are thousands of hours of work that has gone into this, and the elves are working nonstop around the clock, collaborating. The chat channel is constantly going. It's amazing. And we love all of them. Oh no.
Oh, don't keep track of your hours, please do not. No.
And I do want to mention some things. Putting it in the check it twice does not mean that an elf is or one of us 5 lead elves needs to check it. It can be any elf.
Yeah.
Yes.
That can be the second set of eyes. So if you're kind of waiting for one of us to check it, don't just check it. And if you can do it, go for it.
Yeah.
And then get it in the wish complete category after it's checked.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
And and the other thing is, like Christine doesn't have the pre-1700 certification. I do, or someone else does. If you come across one that is like that and you're not able to do it, maybe just post in the channel that, hey, this one is, pre-1700. Can someone work on it? Or this one's pre-1500. Just so that some of the other elves that have the badges for those too can go and work on it.
Yeah, that's good. And I should clarify, when Veg Beauty said she has 50 hours and I said, don't count, I was just thinking, don't count if it makes you feel bad of how long you've spent. But congratulations on
She has done amazing work. She's got 3
that's true. And that is kudos.
She does.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just,
she's done a great job, and she was questioning something, and I went and said, ask the wishy about this. And she did. And guess what? The wishy had never thought about ordering a death certificate. That death certificate could be the breakthrough that you need.
But that's it too. If you want to contact the Wishy, go ahead, send them a PM. Maybe they aren't. Maybe they're a newt. Maybe they aren't familiar with what's available.
That's true.
Right.
They might be at the beginning of their learning curve when you're way up here, and maybe they just need to, get a couple of tips, and then they can do stuff on their own.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Anyway, we're very happy with how things are going so far.
Always.
And we appreciate all the work that all of the elves have done. But we're also very excited about how the 12 days of Elfmas are going, because we're focusing on different things each day, and we're learning new things each day. And so
I'm very excited about Danny's presentation.
Yes.
Because last year it was top notch.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
You
been
set a
looking
pretty high bar last year.
no
Danny.
pressure at all, dude.
No
No.
pressure.
I've been looking so forward to today. What are we learning today, Danny?
Let's see about that. I was thinking, because the wish is about a Hessian ancestor,
Mhm. Okay.
that we can talk a bit about how to research in Hesse, because this is actually a very interesting thing if you find an ancestor in Hesse, since Hesse is one of the best states that you can land on in Germany in the field of genealogy, because they have a lot of things online already and sorted out and so on. So there's some nice things you might see. The wish was about a woman, and it's finished now. I did all things in. The wish was there should be attached some photos or documents in the picture gallery.
Okay, there we go.
And those were attached already, and the wish was actually just to translate it and put it on the profile. The profile itself had not much in it. It has a lot in it now, of course, because all the translations are there, so the wish is fulfilled. But of course, it's always nice if you put in something more, even if the wish is not about extending the branches. But if you have found it, then sometimes it's just easy, and then I tend to put it in also.
Right.
It's like you fall in a rabbit hole. Everyone knows it.
Yes.
This feeling. So we can see here that she just wished for the translation. And there was not giving much about where she got it from. She just said that she got it from someone else, I think. I don't remember. And there was also not a real citation for this, where these pictures came from. So it's always a little bit difficult to actually say something about the content, because you need also the context, as you can imagine. And then I just tried to find the original documents, and maybe they had also something more. What I first was thinking is this might be the birth and the death certificate, and then maybe the marriage or so, but there are only little things that you can make out. It's also a bad copy, and I was not sure if the original is also a bad as bad as that, or if the original is maybe a little bit better. So put some things also on this presentation on the PDF that you might show.
I will. There we go.
So here's just a little reminder what was there, and you can see it was not really really much that was on the profile already. There was only a line that was saying that Anna was born in 1812 and that she passed away in 1844. And in the location field, there was at least a location, which is helpful, of course. It's giving in the modern terminology.
Right. Because in 1812, it wasn't called Germany, was it?
No, we are Germany for just like 70 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of other things going on in this region before.
A few things.
Yeah. You have to find the place first, of course, and therefore it's helpful to have it in nowadays location, of course. But if you want to find the documents, you need to know what state it belonged to in the history at the time that you're searching, because this might have shifted, so that you have to look in a complete different state nowadays to find things that belong in another state today.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So having that said, I was able to locate the actually church books.
Mm-hmm.
And in Germany, you also have to know that we have a lot of churches. They are not only Catholic, there are also Protestant churches, and this part of the church is subdivided in very much difficult other branches. As you can see, we have Evangelical, Lutheran, Reformed, sometimes United, which combines some of the former set, and of course the Catholic. The Catholic does a little bit its own thing. They have a platform of its own. It's called Matricula, as you can see.
Mm-hmm.
What I wanted to say is that you also have to know which confession your ancestor has, because otherwise you have no chance to find anything. In Hesse, there is the good thing that it is pretty much Lutheran since 15 something, because the state of Hesse was one of the original states that switched to the Reformed side of the church, starting with Martin Luther. I think you might have heard of him. Who was
heard the name? Yeah.
But it's not an American Martin Luther King.
No.
We had our own, and he was changing the religion in Germany. Trying to just reform the church, but it led ultimately to the splitting of the church. And since then we have actually two, but the Lutheran church then subdivided in more branches. So you have a little bit high variation of churches nowadays. But Hesse is Lutheran, and it stayed Lutheran, and it's still now Lutheran, most of it anyways. So we would have to look in Archeon, but I just wanted to say that you have to be careful, because in Archeon you will find near to nothing about the Catholic side of the church. So always keep that in mind. You might have to look in both variations. Then you have to see where Schwarzenberg is now. This is easy. You can just Google it and then you will find it. But then you have to see where it was in the time that you are looking for, and we are looking in the early to mid 19th century now. And if you know where Schwarzenberg is today, then you will also find it there. What I give here is a nice map of this region and this time. And you can see that it was not always one state. It's like very much subdivided in at least 5 different states. All you can see, the red one is the former electorate of Hesse.
Okay.
And there are other parts also here. The thing is that the former Landgraviate of Hesse, which was in the Holy Roman Empire, which is the thing you should have heard if you search in Germany, it actually was an empire, and it was called the Holy Roman Empire. And it had a lot of subdivided parts. Most of it were duchies, some were also kingdoms, and then we had also Landgraviates, Markgraviates, municipalities, and then also the religious states, the bishoprics, and so on and so on and so on. It was nearly 1,000 different states at the high point of history. And we are looking for Hesse, so we know that the Landgraviate was first, and it was actually one state, but it got divided into sub territories, because of course if a monarch, the Landgrave in this case, had more sons than one, then he liked very much to divide the country, to give a part of it to any of his sons. And this happened in 5067, and it stayed for nearly the whole history in that way. And the first part was called Landgraviate of Hesse-Kassel. And at the same time, as you can see on a little bit below, there's also the Landgraviate of Hesse-Darmstadt, which started on the same time. So the mistake that researchers often do is to confuse the two of them. You see the red part of the map is the Landgraviate of Hesse-Kassel, and the brown part is the Landgraviate of Hesse-Darmstadt. And then we have also some other things. This is the Duchy of Nassau, is the green on the right. And also the blue parts, they belonged already to Prussia at that time. So it's a very much confusing thing, but you see, it's not only one Hesse you have to deal with.
But they're not even connected. Like the red parts aren't connected to each other.
No, that is the division often happens about also tax income and inhabitants, so that you can think of it, if it was divided like one of your states, let's say North and South Carolina, which is a very, very straight line.
Right, yeah, so that's an easy division, yeah.
This is an easy division, but if you have then most of the population living in the northern part, for instance, then the son that gets the south would have not, he would not like that, I think. So this is why sometimes they divide it a little bit confusing.
I was wondering if the brown part in the middle was a mountain and they just went around the outside of the mountain. But I guess not.
Most likely not, no.
No.
Sometimes they choose also the topographical things to make the borders, like rivers and also mountain ridges, but that's not always the case.
Oh, okay.
And you also see that you have some exclaves there, that they are far away actually from the mainland, that also belong to the states itself.
Little green part.
And you just have to know it. But to make it short, you have Schwarzenberg. This is lies there where the file is going to, the arrow. And you will see that it's in the middle of the red part, so it belongs to the Landgraviate of Hesse-Kassel, which in later history became the Electorate of Hesse in our time that we're looking for, 1815 to 65. It in later times became then Prussia. But not all of Hesse belonged to Prussia, as you can also see. But this is another story for another day. So, knowing all that, you can find the church books, of course, the originals. Unfortunately, the Archeon is a pay site. It's used by all the Protestant churches. So, and it is not indexed. So, I don't think that anyone that is not able to read German, or even if they speak German, to read the old handwriting, it's not worth to buy a subscription for this, because you will be a little bit lost, since you have to basically read the books by yourself. It's not indexed at all.
Right.
Of course, you can easily find the years and maybe even the dates, but you see also the quality of the script is not the best always.
It's pretty faded.
But it's much better than the pictures that were provided, and
right.
You even could enlarge it in the original site on Archeon, so that I could go further in, and then you can see better what it might say in the old script. But you also have this cases where you, as you can see here on the right side, that there are parts missing or burned or have water damage or also, and then you also have to know the German language, of course, because then you can extrapolate some of the words that are missing, which helps. Otherwise, you might miss this. The other thing that I realized looking at the original is that the provided images 1 and 3 actually are from one source. It's just flipping a page. So it starts on one page and then you have to flip it, and then you have the second part of the entry on the next side. This was a little bit confusing to me first when I only had this provided images that are not even in the right sequence.
Right.
Then of course you cannot make out what this entry means. You have to have it in the context and you have to have it in the total. And then you can start to translate it and or first transcribe it and then translate it. And then we see that this is actually the birth record combined with the baptism. And we can also translate it. This is then the easy part, if you manage to decipher the handwriting. Yeah. So this was the first one.
The first record, yes. Okay.
Or actually, it was the first and the third.
Right. Okay, right, yes.
We catch two flies. Or I think you said 2 birds.
2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah. So looking at the second given image, you see on the image there's not given anything. There's no. You only can make out the year 1812, and so you can think that this might have to do something with the birth. But actually, we have the birth record found now. Right. So what is this? What is this for? And I was thinking maybe it's one of the other entries on the other records that are missing. Maybe it's the death, and the birth record is just the birth date is just given on it. So I looked in the year that the profile was saying that she died. It was 1844. And then you can see I found it under this year. Right, and you can also see that the given image was only a short snippet from the middle part of the entry. So if you don't have the context, you would miss out a little portion of the entry actually. So now we know that it's from the year 1844, that it's actually in the Book of Death, so that it's the death record. And but you also see now that it was written in Schwarzenberg, and that that person was living in house number 30 there.
House number 30. There we go.
Yeah. So this you would not have known if you only had the given picture above. And also you have the meaning of the columns actually, because they are only in the top of the page given. So you need that information also to make out what it's actually written there. And we see above the given date of 1812, you see that it's for the birth, which makes sense actually. And we knew that already, so we know that it's the right person. And it also gives the date and the hour of the death. This is the next column. And the column after that is the day of the burial, which you would also not know if you only had the above given picture.
No, I would have, without those headings, I would have definitely guessed the 25th or 21st of July would be the death date.
Yeah, this is the thing that causes a lot of confusion in online trees, for instance, because people are just putting the guesses in the online trees without giving anything, a picture or a link or a source, and then it stays there forever and is copied from other persons, and then it grows, and you will not be able to make out where it came from and how it happened that there are the wrong date of birth or so.
The one thing that I'm amazed at is how the description of the date and the time.
Yeah, it's written in words, so it's
okay. Because I see what looks like July there in the middle. Juli.
Actually, it says on the 18th, but it's written in words.
Oh.
Der 18.
18.
Der 18. Im Juli.
Okay, so that looks like an FL is part of Oxane then. Right?
It's a C and an H. It's an A, then comes a C. This is just a little dot, and then comes the H. It has this underlength.
Oh, that's an H. Okay, got it.
So you can imagine that everyone would think that the 21st July is the day of death.
Yeah.
Because they cannot see any other date there. But it's kind of hidden in the script.
That's right.
It's not the 21st. I mean, this is 3 days. It's not a big problem. But of course, you want to have the right date.
Yeah, that's right.
And then it's also saying that she died at 10:30 in the evening. So you also have this.
11:30.
We have a little bit another system for telling that we just say half. We don't say it 10:30. We say half before 11.
Oh, before. Oh, 11:30 means half an hour.
11:30 actually means 10:30. Yeah. This is also a source of confusion sometimes. Oh,
for sure. I'd be an hour late for everything. If you told me to go somewhere at 11:30, I'd for sure be 11:30.
Yeah. So doing this would actually have fulfilled the wish, but of course you can imagine if I am in it and I know the book now, and then I always thinking, why not search for the marriage now too?
Yep.
Because it has to have happened somewhere in. She was born in this village and she died in this village. Why not also got married there? And then the problem is you have now to go to all the years and search for it. Of course, you know that she was how old she was when she died, and then you can, or you also know when she was born, and then you can think she probably got married when she was 20 or 21 or so, not much before. But actually, this was wrong for what I did, because she was only 15 when she married.
Okay.
So it took me a while to find it. I was thinking it was faster, but I actually found it. And her husband was given in WikiTree. So this confirmed that it's her. Also in the marriage record also is given the birthday. So this is the second confirmation that you need. That is really her, and that she only was 15 at the time of marriage. This is actually a nice handwriting there. You can read it quite well, but of course it's in current, the old German script, so it's not it might not be easy for non-Germans to read it,
Mm-hmm.
or even for Germans. For Germans. But actually, it's a good handwriting, so you have a chance to decipher it.
Yeah.
With a bit.
The one thing I notice about when I'm trying to read this type of script is the N's and the U's, because they're basically, you know, it's sort of like a series of B's.
It's
right?
the same. This is the reason why we
They
have
look
this.
the same.
This is the reason that we have this slash over the U.
Oh.
You see, we always have above the U is normally a slash. Like in the second word under the name Balthasar, which is und. This means and then you have.
And there's another. Oh, okay. Interesting.
This is an indication, but it also leads to confusion because many people think that it's actually an umlaut then, because it has something above it.
Right.
But the something has to be two dots actually.
Yes.
If it's just a slash, then normally it's an U, just to differentiate it between the Q and the N.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now we have all relevant records for this woman, and I put it all in the
profile.
In the profile, and then it looks quite nice. We have sourced her now completely, and it gives a little bit an overview. She married with 15 years and also died very young. I think it was just
32.
Yeah, 32. So, of course, then you are falling back in the rabbit hole and want to know why she died so young. Maybe it was because of in childbirth or so. It's normally the case.
Right.
In this times, it happened very often. And also, I was interested in the husband because I wanted to know. The Vichy actually is from the United States, I think. And I wanted to know, because the woman she was interested in died in Germany still, but someone had to go to America, of course. So I was looking at the husband, and it looked like this. I did not change anything till now, but we can do it live. I prepared a little surprise for the Vichy also.
Okay.
Because I spent some time in finding out what was the thing with him. Obviously, he was also born in Germany, but obviously also he died in America. I'm not sure if this was on the profile already. Can you scroll down maybe to look where he died?
He probably died in Pickaway County, Ohio. However, death of Greater Rocket has not yet been located.
And there is also some speculation about passenger list on the profile.
Yes.
Which has some other daring people on it. And the speculation was if this might be children or sons or nephews or... So it looks like it was not so easy to determine how they are connected because they are just on the same passenger list. But actually, this is always a good thing if you have a bigger family coming over, if the immigrants don't travel alone, because then you can cross-check if it's the right family. You can imagine if you have a person traveling alone, then you only have the name and maybe his age. And then you have to guess to which person in Germany it belongs, because there are a lot of people with the same name and around the same age. And then if you don't have any clue more precise than that, then it's hard to confirm if you have the right person. But if you have a bigger family traveling, then of course you have the cross relations, and you can check if this family in this constellation living in Germany ended up in America, then It's normally easy to identify if it's the right family. So I was also checking about what I will do now. Moment. I will update this profile to what I was able to find.
Because there's Arnold, there's Johannes, there's Ludwig, which should be Louis.
So
Henry.
Get ready, I will upload it.
Okay. Let me know. I'll refresh the screen. Oh, this is exciting.
Yes. I'm not sure. Let's check again.
I'll hit refresh.
I just have to connect it.
Oh.
And then it should be on now.
Okay. Whoa, we have parents for Balthazar.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! So I had of course to change something.
Oh, and we have a location.
Yes.
Woohoo! Okay, now.
So actually, we find out.
Look at this. Did he marry sisters?
No, this is not known.
Oh.
They don't even have necessarily to be related to each other because the site's name is very common in this region. So you could have, at some point, of course, they will be somewhat connected to each other, but it might be 5 or more generations in the past.
Oh, wow.
So this is not, they are not sisters. This is what I can say for sure.
I can say they're not sisters, okay.
Because I think I found both birth certificates, also certificates for both of this, and they have different parents, so
right.
They are definitely not sisters. It's also unlikely that they are cousins, because then they would have needed a dispensation. Is it called that way? I don't know.
Dispensation?
Yeah, from the church, and
really?
allow this marriage, and this would normally be written in the entry also.
Oh, if you married a cousin of your
you had to be at least 3 degrees apart from each other, or more than 3 actually.
Well, yeah, okay, interesting.
And degrees means steps, like our CC7.
Yeah, this. So WikiTree would have been helpful back then to decide that.
Yeah.
Totally.
But they had something equivalent.
I'm sure. Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Look at
and you see the birth location I got from the marriage, actually, from his first wife, which is the
profile before.
The profile from the Vichy. In this marriage that I found, it was said that he comes from Curle. It's nearby, actually. Okay,
Curle. There we go.
And they married in the home village from the bride, which is very typical. So if you look for marriage records, also try first the bride side, because normally it was in her home village.
Right.
Which makes it difficult, of course, because if you don't know where she came from.
Right. Yes.
And in the early times, mostly the maiden name was not given, or where she came from.
So that makes it very difficult.
This makes it difficult, yeah.
Right.
But then you also can stay in the region first, because normally if they come from further apart, this would be mentioned, because they then would be a stranger to the local priest, and then he would have made a note. Yeah. Then I was able to find all the children, as you can see.
Look at that. Yeah.
And then the interesting part is the profile said that they emigrated in I think 1853, when I recall correctly.
Mhm.
So, and the mother already died in 1844. So I was asking myself if there is another wife involved, because some of the children were missing.
Right.
That, also the supposed children from the passenger list. And I was just thinking maybe he was married again. But then again, this wife would have been dead also before they migrated. So, and there's not much time for this, as you can see. So
Right.
I was interested in to find out what happened there, and then I found the second marriage indeed to this other side's girl, and I also found 2 more children.
Okay. So there's only 1 year from when his first wife died to when he married his second wife.
Yes, and then the second wife also died in childbirth. This we know for sure because it's written in the death certificate.
And then he landed in America and got married shortly thereafter.
Yeah.
Wow.
And got another 3 children there.
Wow.
So I think the count is up to 15 now in total for him. Finding them all was really a relief. So we can now say for sure that this is the family emigrating to America on this passenger list.
Yeah.
Because I also looked, so he had far more children that are on the passenger list, of course. But I was able, from all the children that are not on the passenger list, to find the actually death certificate. So they died young most of the time.
Yeah.
And the ones that were still alive in 1853, they were actually on the passenger list. So this is the right family.
Oh, very nice.
And to double check it, and this is something you can do on the page from the local history society in Hesse. I think it's on the PDF where the map is.
Where the map is?
Where the map is, there's the link to the Lages database.
Oh, there it is. Right there. Yep.
Now you can have a click there, and then we can do we can show some things that you can actually find there.
Okay.
On the left side, you have kind of the list what it's possible. So you have lexica, maps, views and images, topics, projects, and sources. The maps, of course, I was looking for in the maps section. But what's also very cool concerning maps is if you search for a specific location in Hesse, you can go to the lexica. This is the green dot. And then you have the gazetteer there. Just the next under the lexica things. Yeah, and then you can search for, let's say, Schwarzenberg.
Did I spell it right?
Yes, looks good.
Ooh.
And then you need the right one, and this is the first one in this case. It's nowadays in the Schwalm-Eder district.
Okay.
And then you get a little description of the village. It says when it was mentioned first, how the old historical names of the village were. You see this name developed quite a lot over the centuries.
Schwarzenberg.
And what is really cool is if you go under the map, there is a section, and there is a point called topographical maps.
Right.
And then you can click on the link there.
Okay.
And then it should open, let's see what it's opened, the Google map.
Yeah.
And it's laid over with the historical maps. So, and you can go, there are these bluish dots on the map, and the uppermost you can click on. And then you have this slide in the middle of where the line is. You can grab it with the mouse.
Oh, look at that.
And then you can have the Google, you had the Google view, and you can overlay it with the historical maps. And you can even switch through time by checking the boxes
Oh, look at that.
On the right side, there's other times. This is the map from 1990 now.
Yeah.
And if you go down the list,
Mm-hmm. Oh, we can go back to 1900.
yes, you see it was a quite small village by that time, and you can even go down to the year that we are looking for. You have to scroll a little bit further.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
There you have the Kurfürstentum Hesse in no. Just check in the middle now, more in the middle there. This is, yes, this what it was right. Not all maps are on it, of course, but
Okay.
it's called Kurfürstentum Hesse, and the time age is 1840 to 61.
There we go.
If you check this, you are right in the time when these ancestors were living there.
Right. Yeah. Look at that.
So you see there were not much houses. You can
There were
count
some
it.
houses. Yeah.
Some houses, but not much. So
Yeah.
it grew.
Like that first ring, basically, right? Like that sort of first ring of houses.
Yeah.
This would have all been field, I guess, eh?
Yeah. So this is one thing you can do with this database.
That's very cool.
It's very helpful also if you're looking for places that are close by and that not are mentioned on the Google Maps, because maybe they are not there anymore, or they changed the. You see also the naming of the mountain ranges there.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also change the Google map to the LiDAR map, of course, if you click on this. It's the 1, 2, 3, 4th map on the downside. You see where their heights are in. Then you have the LiDAR view. You see where the mountains are and where the
Oh, look at that. Wow. It looks like clay.
Yeah, actually, it's blending out all the things, also all the trees and so, in house it, and it just shows the topography.
Right. That's
if you need it. It's just a cool thing to have it.
It is. Yeah, they're all. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And you also have from the 1915s, I think they are. This is real photography from planes.
Okay.
Downside.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's from the 1915s.
Look at all the farmers' fields like checkerboards, different crops. Yeah.
You can see where there's agriculture and so on going on. Yeah, and then, of course, for our American friends, there's another cool thing that you can do with the Lagis database.
Okay.
We just have to switch back to the topic. There is a section. It's called sources. It's the last one. Yeah.
Sources. Oh, okay.
And it has a section that it's called immigrants. And then you can try to find your Balthasar Döring.
Oh, okay. So, Döring. Do I need the umlauts?
I think he realized it is because it's also American friendly.
Yes, so it knew.
It knew.
Switch to the
But maybe you have to put in Balthasar as well, because there are like 222 hits now.
Let's go back, and we go back to, and then put in Balthasar. There we go.
There we go, and then you find it.
Zone son of, right?
It's the number 7, I think. Of course, you have to check the others also, but normally it's not so much to check. And then you can actually go down. There's a point, it's called page. This you have to remember. It's beyond the link that you were just
under
the link.
Under this link?
No. Click on the 7,
Okay.
entry 7. So then you have the page.
Oh, this page. Oh, I see. It says
yeah,
page
it's
268.
268. We have to find this, and the link above it.
Okay.
It takes you to the. Not all of them are online yet, but this one is. It's from the archives, digitized versions of the files there. You can just open it or show digital copies also. Yeah, and then we have to find page number so and so. It's not the image number, but you can start on this, and now you have to check if the page is the right one. You see it on the right side on the book.
74.
So
okay.
we need six less.
Oopsie. Oh no, that's the wrong one. I thought that was going forward.
Yeah.
68. So
you just go to, and then you'd have to check it again because sometimes there's a double image also.
Right.
But this is the right side.
Okay.
And I think you have to go to line number 39, was it? If I'm correct. And then you have him. This is the ancestor actually. And you find some more. This is a file that lists all people that asked for permission to emigrate. And it will have the name, the age. He was 51 years old. It's right under the name.
Oh, there's the 51 yarn. Yeah, okay.
He was Ackermann, which is farmer.
Oh, okay.
And he's from Schwarzenberg. This is the next column. Of course, you have to be able to read it.
Wow.
this might be a little bit difficult, but then it says he had 4 sons at the age of 14 and above.
Okay.
No son. The next is no son under 14.
Okay.
1 daughter, age 14 and above. 1 daughter, age under 14. In total, 7 persons. Okay. And then you have also an estimation of the wealth they own. So this is quite high. This is Reichsdaler at that time.
Yeah, compared to the others on the page, 180 or only 37 and a half. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is let's say middly large farm that they probably owned.
Right.
And if he was able to sell it before emigrating, then he had a kind of good starting point over there.
No wonder he had a large family then, so to work the farm.
Yeah. It says nothing about the reason why he left, just that he asked for permission to do it, and obviously it was granted. And the last column also gives the destination. The word in there is just as above. Oh, so you have to scroll on the top of the page and see, and there it's standing North America. So North America. So you can be sure that this is the right guy.
Right.
Also, the count of children fits to the passenger list.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I put this also in the profile, by the way, so because it gives some background information on his social status, so to speak. It was not a day laborer or so. He was a real farmer, and he seems to have owned the farm that he lived on. Nice. And probably was able to sell it for a relatively good price, let's say. Right. It's not always the case, because you had to leave the land within a year after application mostly.
Right.
And then you are kind of, you are forced to sell your farm to any price that is possible. Or you will just lose it completely. Then the state will get it.
Right. Is that the beginning of that line there? Is that Balthasar in front of his last name, During?
Yeah, it's shortened for Johann, because this was his first name.
Oh, okay. I was thinking that cannot be a B. At the first letter could not be a B. Okay, no. It's Johann Balthasar.
It is shortened, yeah, and then it's just a J-O-H, and then it begins with big B, a large B, and Balthasar, During.
Ah, there we go. Okay.
Yeah, the German names. Also, this to say this because it's always also source of mistake. We don't have middle names in Germany. Normally, we have 2 names in this time range. Sometimes also 3 or even more. And normally in this region, it's the second one that is used in daily life. The first one normally is just a so-called saint's name.
Right.
It's almost ever Johann,
or
they just have one name, like the one above it. He is just called Heinrich. And if they have 2 names, then the first one most of the time is Johann, and this doesn't count much.
Right. Yeah.
So he would have gone by Balthasar in normal life.
Nice.
This is also the reason why I changed his. He had actually Walden as middle name, but this is not true. Balthasar, of course, is very difficult to speak for English speaker. And this is why he probably changed it to Walden, which sounds a little bit like it and is easier to pronounce. And he also got rid of the umlaut in the name.
Yeah.
To favor the English speaking world.
Right.
But the Vichy might have to change the last name at birth into the one with the umlaut, because this is actually his
proper one,
his original name.
Yeah.
And it changed only in America into this lazy man's spelling. It even changed more because she herself, the Vichy, is called. Can you see it? It's the profile manager, I think. Even
Deering. Oh, right.
It changed even more. So
yes,
it sounds. It still sounds.
I didn't even make the connection that was exactly. It's the same name.
Yeah. This is her direct ancestor. This is actually why I did it, because I wanted to give something from her direct line, not just translate some. I mean, his first wife is also her direct line,
right?
But I think now she has the solid proof of the immigrant in her family and how the name evolved over time.
And another set of grandparents farther back. Nice.
Yeah. To go further back on the Düring line will be a little bit difficult because I did not find his marriage record from the father. So he probably married in did I? I'm not sure. Can you click on the Christoph Düring?
Yeah, sure can.
To see what I found there.
You found a second marriage?
Yeah, I found the second marriage. This is the one that brings him to Curle, but I did not found the first one, and this would have his parents on it.
The first
and
one.
The first marriage probably was in the hometown from the first wife. And since I do not know her name or where she came from, I could not look if I can find his first marriage record. And so I don't know his parents. But of course, there is hope that you find it. It will not be from somewhere far away. It will, I think, it will be from the near surrounding. So with a little bit more time, and so it is probably possible to go back this line. All other lines, however, are quite easy to follow up because they stayed in the same village. So also from the immigrant's mother, I think I even found the parents. It just didn't put it in right now because this is also a question of time.
Right. Yes.
But at least she knows now where to look. And the actually wish profile has, I think, all 4 grandparents, I think.
This one here. Yep.
And it's also new.
Yeah.
Most of them can, or all of them can be followed back also further with the information on it now.
That's excellent. Wow. This is such a huge amount of work you've done here, Danny.
Yeah, but it's also interesting. So
It is. It is. Oh yeah, yeah. It's not a slog. It's
otherwise I would not do it probably.
Wow, this is great.
And it's also good to identify the immigrants, because sometimes it's not possible to follow the line from America alone, and also not from Germany alone. You have to kind of combine it to be sure that this is the right person. And this is why I always advocate, if you identify a name on a passenger list, it would be really nice if you can put the ship category on the profile, so that in the end, I did it for this Döring family. And if everyone does it, we in the end will probably have complete ship lists.
Okay.
Most of the ships are online already. There are still a lot of ships missing, but now we have kind of found some of the names on the ship list. This is especially important for the Palatine migration, because at this time, people that were close connected ended up on the same ship often.
Right.
In the 1800s, this is not so much the case, because a lot of people were traveling alone or in little family groups. But in the 1700s, when the Palatine migration started or took place, sometimes half of the village people traveled together. So if one is able to identify one family of the ship, then it's very likely that the other passengers of the ship are also from this region.
Right, right.
This helps then. If you can trace your ancestor back to one ship and you have the other passengers already in the category, then you can just look where they came from and then drive your conclusions to where your ancestor comes from.
Right.
It's at least a starting point.
So you made a category for the ship, people who took on that specific ship, but also a more general one for the migrants from that area.
Yeah, it's for this ship, and actually not for the ship, but for the voyage, for this exact voyage.
That's voyage, not even, yeah. That's very specific, yeah. And
you
then
can see it also in the...
for Hesse? Is there a category for that too? Looks like...
Yeah, this is something for the migration thing. Right. This is just to group them together.
Right.
Where they came from, where they went to. So if you're looking for some Dörings that vanished from Hesse, and you want to know where they ended up, you can just go to the category where they are grouped together as migrants from Hesse to United States, for instance.
Right.
And then see if they are there already. This is also helpful for maybe following family members that went also to America. Then it's really most likely that they ended up in the same region than their family members that maybe immigrated some years before also. Right. And you can just find them easier if they are grouped together in such categories. Right. So we in the Germany project, we tend to do this.
Right. Very nice. Wow. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for putting together this lovely overview of all of this with the links. So can we share this PDF?
Yes, of course.
We can upload this to, we'll put it on our free space, a link to it on this free space page. And yeah, so other people can sort of follow along as a German primer as well on how to do some research.
Yes.
So thank you very much. That was wonderful. Folks, do you guys have any closing thoughts?
No, thank you for showing us all those great tools for German research.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Those
you
maps
are-
were incredible, where you could like
The maps.
change the map from. I wish we had something like that for here. That would be amazing.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's for Hesse for now, but I think the other states will also do it at some
I think
point.
Ireland has something like that. I've seen.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We have older maps. Like there's a repository for old
Mm-hmm.
maps of Ontario from the 1870s, but you can't
Yeah,
like
that
overlay them with a Google
then
map.
and
or-
now, that is such
Yeah,
a cool
That's
feature.
crazy.
Yeah, that's very neat. Yeah. Well, thank you again, Danny. That was wonderful. And so I think we will draw this to this edition of the 12 Days of Alchemists to a close. We will be back tomorrow for the 7th day of Alchemists, but it's going to be a time change. We're not going to do it right at noon. One of us is still going to be in church at that time. Unless our priest has an uncharacteristically short homily, which I will never count on. So we're moving our LiveCast to 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. So join us then live or watch us after the fact. And we will see you tomorrow for another day of Alchemist. Thanks again, Danny, for what a wonderful episode today. And thank you to my fellow elves and everyone else who's watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.
See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Danny.